Welcome to the Investor Impact, Power Talks with Vinney Chopra, where investors gather to share their insights and strategies in the world of multifamily, real estate, and beyond. Get ready to be inspired and equipped for your next level of success.
I wanted to really start the business of investing in real estate, but guess what? I had zero money at all. Hey there, this is Vinney Chopra. Actually, I came from India with $7 in my pocket, and I wanted to really start the business of investing in real estate. But guess what? I had zero money at all. To invest in. So that's when I was getting sick and tired of my W-2 job, and I wanted to start working for me so that I can get, financial freedom. And I know you might be looking into that also. But how I did that was by pooling the money together from different investors. It's called syndication. I started with one investor, and now I have a list of 370 investors, and I started from a duplex of 2 units, duplex, to $440 million in business. And actually you could get that all from this book I wrote, this Apartment Syndication Made Easy. You could get a free copy of that by going to vcfreebook.com, and you'll be able to get all the tricks and all the strategies that it took me to be able to go from zero money, literally zero money I had, left my job, and also now able to, do all the syndications and purchase a lot of apartment complexes and things like that. So please click the link below in my bio so that you could get this free book, which is at vcfreebook.com.
Vinny, there is also a point I wanted to bring up, because there are so many, for the people who are needing assisted living and memory care, there is also a range in which what options people go for. So for example, what are the other options? One is obviously the assisted living. The other options are in-home care. And there are the I would say upscale to top tier assisted living. And then then you have that long-term care, LTC, long-term care disability. I know that at least in Washington state, I know we all had to there was a time when everybody had to give certain amount every month. So what I'm trying to say is that is also, LTC is also a tool that is helping enable people to think about that, and it's helping this process, I think, a little more.
You're so right. Behavioral science and living. I was just having a talk today with somebody. The thing is, you're so right, Ankur, what you're saying. Brother, look over here. This graph really hit me home 5 years back, because this is where we have been right here with giving how many units? See, population in thousands. So 5 million, and it's going to increase. There'll be so much shortage coming up in this same thing. Senior housing market trends, supply and demand outlook. Now that's the total senior. But then I wanted to break it up into, this is another very good graph I found, is that with the depression or economic downturn in 2008 and 9, even the apartments, this blue is apartments, by the way, but these green bars are senior housing. Nothing happened. It's totally not related to economics at all. Economic shifts does not affect senior living. It's a need-driven market. It's not workforce housing. It's not interest rate up and down thing. But when the seniors need it, they need it. And they're going to be. So senior housing is this one. And then this one is multifamily right there. Let's go to another one.
Vinny, can
That's
we go
what
back
you
for
were
a
talking.
second? Can we go
Yeah,
back for
sure
a
I
second?
can.
Because I just had
Sure,
a brainstorm on this.
Yes.
What if there was a way that we could get like a Section 8, we could get the government to pay for the housing or a portion of the housing. Is that a possibility? Is that happening right now? Or is that
Right
something
now,
that
$1,800. The care, I think, pays 1,800, and lots of seniors are really living like that, with that. And there are
yeah, I've been
senior
in those
centers, there are
facilities.
two.
You do. I walked right back out. I could look at the walls and see the pay, and I could smell. Those facilities are terrible. I would not. I would
Very
not put my
terrible,
dog in
very
those
terrible.
facilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm
You
thinking
get what
bigger.
you
I'm
pay
thinking like
for.
4 or 5 thousand, like what you're putting in, but maybe they do half or what. But I'm just thinking if we could think on that level, is there a possibility that we could be instigators for
You
that?
know,
I don't know. I'm just spitballing
majority,
it.
majority of the people I've interviewed and I have talked to or listened to, they do private pay. We do private pay. My partner does
Right.
private pay. What that means is the medical of 1,800 or whatever, it comes into their account. Then they have their house that they were downsizing. They have long-term care. Their families pay 33% or something like that. So when we bring our seniors into our facilities, we ask them to show us 3 years of rent, actually. So it's called financial due diligence, not only their care, their health due diligence, because we cannot take them if they are more dependent on doctors and all. Are you with me, right? So financial due diligence and the health due diligence, those are two important factors. So most of the RALs, by the way, residential assisted livings, what I've come to realize, they also take private pay, because they are building these homes. They are $1 million home. Now, $1 million or 550,000 or $2 million home, how can you afford to, if you gave 3 meals a day and everything at 1,800, you won't be able to survive. The numbers won't work. So that's why private pay of 4,500, 5,000 is what's common. What's common? It's from 5 to 7. And the other thing I want to talk about also is that what I've come to realize in RALs, residential assisted living, the unit size decreases, guys. It's 300 square feet to 500. So in Arizona, you need 3,000 square feet house or 5,000. And you can have 10 residents there if you give them 500 square feet or 350, whatever in the unit. But most of the seniors don't spend much time in their rooms. They spend time in the common areas, watching
They got the
television,
bingo and the
playing
crafts
games,
and
and
stuff
get
like that. Yeah.
bingo
Yeah.
activities. You bet, too bad.
So,
So
so what I'm
that's
looking at though, that slide before that shows the shortage supply,
yes,
there's going to come a point in time when the government's going to have to step in and help because what are you going to do with those people that they have no place to go to? There'll be a big uprising from
yes,
families and stuff. And I'm just thinking if we could be ahead of the curveball on this and be the
you got it.
instigators or be the thought provokers that saying, hey, this is coming, this is coming, this is coming, and this is our
Yeah.
plan, they're going to take somebody's plan. And if we're the ones out there talking this talk and you're already on top of the food chain on this, uh,
There'll
that
be
might not be a
incentives
bad
coming.
play.
You're right. Steve, there will be incentives coming. They have to. The way the government can help, or the state or the cities who will need us to come there, they might give special reductions in taxes and help out in giving some bonds, zero money bonds. I've come to realize somebody I talked to last year, they said, Vinny, there is so much money there, which they will even float the bonds to give you loans if they need you in that community. So those things will be coming. They are coming. But we need to just learn the process, get going on it so that we can build the track record. So
Yep.
that's how it's all about it. That's why we are doing this session today, and maybe next week too. Brother Dave is going to be doing next week because I'll be in Italy, by the way. Sorry, I don't know, Dave, if I mentioned it to you, I should have told you before because my family, they planned this 7 months back, 6 months back, actually. So we leave Monday for 2 weeks and then we come back, and I look forward to coming back and helping coach again more. But let's go to next one here. So senior housing trends. This is what I want to talk about right now. See, on the left side, it's choice driven in senior living. So there are 5 ways the seniors can be. We can get involved in real estate and businesses. 5 ways in helping the seniors. One is the choice driven on the left side, you see, right over here. And then it's need driven on the right side over here. So increase in acuity is what determines from left to. So age restricted apartments, no regulation, no state regulation, no federal regulation. They can live where they want, everything like villages, like other places like that. No services are provided, private pay, average stay 5 to 6 years. A lot of people are building these and they are happy with it. Developers are happy. Then the little regulation, independent living, housekeeping, if they need some help in housekeeping and transportation, they cannot drive, things like that. And recreational private pay, they pay an average stay here also. So little regulation in independent living. What I chose, this is where I've been in the last 5 years, right here in the state licensing, which is assisted living and memory care, which is medication, help in medication, bathing assistance, which is like bathing, dressing, driving, cooking, they cannot cook, or prescriptions, they forget what to eat. That's where the assisted living, there are ADLs, activities of daily living, 26 of them. So if 3 to 4 are impaired, then they could come into assisted living. So that's how you determine whether we could give them the service they need or not. And then private pay, mostly we take. Average stay is 22 months, which you saw in the chart before too. And it's a little bit higher in our case. In our facilities, it's close to 3 years, which is 36 months right there. Memory care, closely monitored. You almost need 1 for 2 people or even 1 for 1 in that one, because you have to really keep them busy and so forth like that. It's a lockdown side of the facility because we don't want memory care residents to wander around and Alzheimer, right? Memory care is Alzheimer. So special activities are done for them and private pay. And then average stays 17 months or so if they might go to wherever, maybe hospice, maybe skilled nursing. So that's the last one. Federal licensing and skilled nursing, that's where the rehab centers, the hospitals, everything come in that side. So that's very complex.
I'm curious,
complex.
I'm really curious. To
Please.
me, just on the surface, it looks like independent living would be a much stabler play. It's 5-year average, less work to do. There is the rent for independent living
Lower.
way different than this is. It's a lot lower.
Totally. Okay. Totally, brother. Totally. Because independent living means that they will be able to cook themselves in their condominium or home.
Oh, this
or,
is just a 55 plus. That's all this is.
Yeah, exactly. It's just that. Right. You're right. Yeah. No, thank you. But assisted living memory care, that's where they say RAL, residential assisted living, or multifamily, like we have been discussing, assisted living and memory care. That's where you can charge 4,000, 4,500, 5,000. In Arizona, when I went to Phoenix, people are charging 10,000 per month per unit. And it's dungy. It's so bad. I couldn't even, a smell was coming. It was so old. But people
I've been in those
paying
when I was
10,
looking for my dad. It's terrible.
Yeah, it was sad. It was very sad. But look at this here. See, senior living housing supplies, the number of communities, the nursing homes, how many are there? And then there is continuing retirement homes right there, 7.7. Majority independent living is about here. Majority assisted living is about 38 to 39% as of this report that I got this, right? We may go back and get the brand new ones as we are working on this with our mastermind group, designing new PowerPoints, new things, so that everybody in our academy can use with your investors and everybody, right? Total units per bed, if you look at majority nursing care, it's this one right there, this one. number is this much, total units and beds is 44% still. Then continuing retirement, independent living is 12.7, and then 23.2 is this one where it is majority assisted living right there, which is still a big chunk, huge chunk of the total seniors. This is total seniors now. Remember, seniors means 65 plus. So 65 to 70 probably will be living in different retirement communities right there, right there. Anyway, so we could go
Vinney,
into
I
that
have a
later on.
question. I have a question.
Please, yeah,
Yeah, I
sure,
was
sure.
wondering about, because you've been dabbling in this for over 5 years now.
Yes,
And
yes.
so how have you found analyzing the deal different than multifamily versus even single family homes?
I love it.
Yeah, how do you go about analyzing the
I
deal?
love it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Daryl. Thank you so much. This will be amazing. Let me take that right away. And maybe we'll come back to this one. I'll stop it and we'll come back. So essentially, Daryl, it's the same thing. The revenues coming in and expenses going out, right?
Mhm.
The good part in assisted living is that it's real estate and operation. Of course, multifamily is also, right? Single family home is also, it's a business because rental single family, you get a resident to give us rent every month, right? And then we have our insurance, our mortgage, our some wear and tear, whatever it is, right? In single family. And in multifamily, we have bigger staff, leasing, community manager, taxes, insurance is in every real estate, right? We have to take mortgage is in every real estate, right? So we underwrite it on my blueprint, the tool which I provided, same thing, totally same. Instead of putting the units, we put rooms. So in residential assisted living, we'll say we have this big many rooms which are 500 square feet. These rooms are 300 square feet. These rooms are 700 square feet, master room in the whole single family house, right? SFO we call it, right? So we'll be able to charge more for the suite. So instead of units having 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom and all that, we'll be able to put in my worksheet, which I'm changing it already. I've already started the process. It's going to become the underwriting tool for RAL and 30 units, 40 units, 50 units. It's going to do everything for you right away as you put the numbers. The beauty is the revenues will be so high per square foot.
Right.
The revenues will be so high per unit because now these are rooms in RALs. So it's going to be, that's why the numbers work very good in senior assisted living and memory care, like Brother Dave is nodding, because where revenues are 4 times. If I can get the same unit to give us only $1,300 a month, but the seniors, by giving more services, give us 6,000. We just got 4 times more money, 5 times more money. And the expenses are higher too.
What is the
payroll is the biggest expense, food and payroll. Brother, go ahead. David,
that was my question. What is the expense ratio? So you get 4 times more money. What is the expense ratio?
I would say 60%. 60%. Still not bad. So if you take 30% off the regular, or maybe even more, but in this case, instead of 50 of giving the expenses, it's 60%. But still, because the big pie is there on the top, at the bottom, approximately every research I've done, people are making 10,000 a month in one RAL. 10,000 to 12,000. Some good ones are making 15,000 a month from one single family home assisted living. Now you tell me why it's not good, right? It's pretty good. Yeah. So that way. But the thing is, we'll be digging deeper and deeper as we go into more. But let me share this one. So essentially, I was doing apartments, as you know, multifamily, right?
Right.
Even value adds and all that. Then we started building assisted livings in Punta Gorda, Cape Coral, Williamsburg. My partner had built in Michigan, all that stuff, right? So that's what we designed this little slide to show my investors, hey, over here, already built multifamily, it's C class, B or B plus. The income potential is lower on the newly built assisted living, which we were building newly, by the way. Even in RAL, it's going to be renovations required anyway. So it's going to be really good quality RAL, which will be almost like newly built or newly renovated. I'll change this to newly renovated assisted living, in my new slides, which I'm putting together. But then it's going to be class, maybe B or A class, higher income potential. Look at this. This is where it really boils down to. Concessions are zero. Guess what I'm doing in Austin, Texas? Some of my properties are giving 1 month free to get people to come in. In assisted living memory care, no concessions, no delinquency. What? That's it. Hey, that's a huge thing. Demographics, non-working resident, because they are retired, they are 80 years of age, 85, 90. They have made their money, they are just living their golden years of life. So non-working, so economy doesn't have any effect on this one because they have to, it's a need driven and they're going to stay there. Of course, you might say, Vinney, how about if they run out of money? Something happened, right? You're right. If that's the case, definitely they could pare down into two beds in the same room kind of thing if our facility has that, or go to a lower assisted living, things like that. But working class is here. Average stays 6 to 13 months. And we have to renew the leases here every 30, 60 days. It's 24 months here. Maintenance is almost, because it's renovated, almost none or close to low, very low. And it could be quite low to high, different maintenance and all that, turnover rate, investment hold for investors. And the returns are pretty darn good. It's 9%, even multifamily is not even giving 6% right now. It's very sad what has happened to multifamily, but this one will be able to give much higher returns. Then let's take a look at this here. Another slide I thought I'll share with you all. Senior living sector for senior outperform all real estate since 2007. Will post-COVID, for example, falling indicators, demographics, baby boomers, strong demand, of course, strict health policies, numerous measures are taken to ensure safety and health, higher investor ROI, return on investment, lower risk senior living housing is highly recession-proof, revenues does not decline like the other class and so on. Then I put this one here, senior living transactions activity by buyer type. Who are buying these things? I had a good session today, a 1-hour session to really look into off-market senior livings and all that session. US-based senior housing and care properties. Who are the people who are buying? Cross borders right down there. Institutional buyers are over here who are buying. Then REITs are buying. Look at that, REITs, lots of them. And then private people are buying right there. They own these. So then, and then user and all others are up on the top there. Just go for the other part, which is really exciting in any kind of real estate, is cost segregation. We all know that. Looks like in this year of the election year, bonus depreciation hopefully is coming back. It's already passed the House. I think the Senate has to vote. Then it's going to be retroactive to 2023, which is fantastic. A lot of people will be refiling taxes and everything to get those deductions of cost segregation. So that is huge. In RAL also, we can do full cost segregation and give our investors huge negative K1s right away, first year of possession. So we even buy any kind of property by December 31st. The IRS says you can take cost segregation as if you owned it on January 1 of that year. It's just that you have to close the deal in that year. That's the thing. So that's a big one. 1030 exchanges can be done. People, as we put the model together, if people are selling things and they want to defer their taxes, they could invest the money. So I'm putting together several models. In RALs, there are three models, let's see. One is owner who might like to invest money to buy the home. All right. Then the operator who's going to be managing as partner with me or my companies. So we'll be giving them ownership in the operation side of it, and they get salary plus bonuses and all. As we grow our profitability, they get a share also. And then the third will be just independently. We could rent or we can own. In this case, it will be the owner is the different person, and then we're going to lease from that person single family home, pay 10,000 to 15,000 a month. What? Guaranteed rent. And the best part is that this owner is going to increase its value equities. I'm putting this model together where we'll be showing to the owners, they not only get the cash flow, the monthly mortgage money of 10,000 or 50,000, depending on where the thing is in Arizona and other places I'm looking at. The other part is they are going to increase the value of that property over time. So benefit to them is legacy building, and they know for sure once the REL is running and up and going, they will not move because then the whole model dies down. So it's 5-year lease, renewable another 5 and another 5. So that's what I've been able to observe, that we need to have long-term contract with some escalation clauses for increase in rent, inflation 3% or whatever like that, right? Any questions on that? Any
Yeah, Vinny,
questions?
how about the depreciation? We talked about depreciation in hotels. And we
Yes,
talked about
yes.
depreciation in single families and multifamilies. How about with this asset class?
I'm so glad, Daryl. Thank you so much. This asset class, because it's residential, it will be 27.5 years. If we took the land doesn't depreciate, but the structure does. The structure. Everything that we put money into renovations with the bonus schedule, every dollar, if you put 200,000, we get deductions for 200. Once this gets passed, it's now actually 60%, right, Dave? It was 100, then 80, then 60. But the news is that it will go back to 100 again, retroactive 2023 to 2027, 5 years. So what you're saying, Daryl, is correct. Everything between the walls is depreciated, right? The walls are depreciated outside 27.5 years, but the inside, the equipment, the everything, the kitchen, the living area, everything, and what you call it, electrical systems inside the property, which are 5-year schedule or 10-year or 15-year schedule usually for depreciation, they are combined everything into first year. That's the beauty of that accelerated depreciation. It's all the capex you spent that year, plus all the 5-year things like drawers and cabinets and everything. IRS says in 5 years they'll be totally worn out, gone. So they give them a life of 5 years. Then there are other things which are 15 years, but in accelerated depreciation, you combine everything and take that big deduction first year. See, sometimes I've given 305,000 negative K1 to my investors who gave me 500,000. I gave them 305,000 negative. They love me because they say, oh my gosh, that's really great, because that negative passive loss was able to take care of the gains of some other passive gains, they call them. Or if they cannot take it, they could take it to next year. You can keep on accumulating. Yeah, the CPA can keep on accumulating negative. One time I had $9 million in negative in my as general partner. $9 million, which was amazing. I didn't have to pay taxes for so many years because all my W-2 income and my tax, got all one because I'm a real estate professional. So that way, W-2, which I was doing my motivation speaking, all that was together. Anyway, but then you could take 1031, self-directed retire. Oh, this is huge. See, lots of people don't understand that they can take their retirement funds from the Wall Street, bring it to the Main Street. I call it Main Street through self-directed IRAs and 401ks and QO plan and EQRPs. And those are amazing ways to really take the money and invest into greater assets, like assisted living and so on. And then these are lots and lots. I don't know even if they open. I didn't really check it. See, error. Look at that. Wow. This was done way back, so I'm not going to try to open others. But they were all working when we did it back then, 3 years back or so. So any questions on that? Then we can take more questions so that we could go further. Oh no, executive summary. Oh, this is the whole game plan. Monil Senior Living is our company's name. So I designed the whole thing 5 years back, 6 steps to our business plan, which is location to do all the great demographical studies where people are moving, where seniors would like to get to be there, and then look at how many RALs are there, and then we'll find the locations. Then once the market is like, we do deeper analysis and all, analyze, then investors' money comes in over here when we are ready to renovate right away and buy closing. And then we develop, we are able to do that, then manage it, and then we can sell it in 3 to 5 years. That was the model was. In RAL, it might be a little bit different, but that's something there. Census Bureau, this was like Virginia where we did it. We look at all these things. What's the census and what's their net worth? I think there is net worth here somewhere. No, I think it's just the demographics. There is the net worth right there. So it's very important to really see who can afford and what's their buying capacity and all that. Like where I'm opening right there in the Williamsburg area. This is Williamsburg, I think, Virginia. So this is very close to the property. The net worth is average net worth of 2.8 million, 2.6 million, like that, right? Oh, right there, assisted. Oh, wow. Look at this one here too. See, there are independent livings, 8 projects over there in that city. This is Williamsburg, not Michigan. There's a mistake. It should be Virginia. And then assisted livings were 8, so many units, occupancy rates. Then in these were occupancy rates, you could go back and see how well the area is doing. All those studies are there. Then, of course, the company I pay, they do all these for me. I don't get involved. I just pay them $5,000. They give me 85 pages long, beautiful study, all that. It's well worth it. When you're talking about millions of dollars, it's well worth for the professionals to do the work. Then they even find out what's out there, what they charge, how many beds, all that stuff, all that. Look at that. All this is there. All this is there. And then they suggest to us what we can charge, all that stuff. Alrighty, let's just go back. Oh, this is again another one. Again, some of you have seen the videos that I've shown in the past, utility. So this is what is included everywhere, right? It's all inclusive, all utility except the telephone, 3 daily meals and snacks, coffee, tea, housekeeping, laundry, linen, basic assistance with activities, ADLs, social, educational, agricultural programming, schedule, transportation. All that is included in that 4,500 or 5,000. Units will include universal design, high ceilings, all that, microwave. And then, of course, the community. Now, this is where we do bigger communities, right? I think lots of new people are joining. If you don't mind, allow me just a couple of minutes. I would love to show this one here, just to show a little bit thing here, what we build. So this is what I've been building. Oh, let me give the noise also. Where is the, sorry about that. Oh, how come I cannot share? No, I apologize. Okay, I apologize. Sorry about that. I think this is somehow I just want to make sure you are able to hear. My bad. Sheer computer sound. Somehow I changed it to stereo sound always, but it didn't work for me somehow. But let's just look at it now. Yeah, please.
Hampton Manor of Punta Gorda features the only 66,000
Can you
square
hear
foot
it
one-story
okay?
facility in the area.
Yes.
Yeah, so
At
that's
Hampton
what
Manor
I've
of
been
Punta Gorda,
building
our
in
residents get the daily
Florida.
support they
You
need while
know,
remaining as independent as possible. We extend
I
the
was
highest
standing
level
under
of
a
service of
tree,
value and quality.
and now this
Everything
is
you were
the
looking
one.
for in an assisted living community. All award-winning meals are created and served restaurant style at our facility. Our stylish beauty salon will have you looking glamorous in no time and in the know.
So definitely, when you have more room, you could really do
Our
some good
luxurious
stuff.
spot allows you a tranquil place to unwind and distress.
Very nice, no? Okay.
Our beautiful, elegant private dining room. With 3 gorgeous garden courtyards, residents can enjoy a game of pot golf.
Yeah, this
Residents
is the
can
one we
also enjoy
sold
our
for
beautiful in-ground
17
swimming
million.
pool.
We built it for 12 million. And it was only 48% occupied, I think. We could have sold it for more, but we wanted to, it was getting us more expenses and so on.
The
So
club room is
we said,
designed for
let
some
the other
party pool or
person.
card games and more. And right around the corner is our private library. The Modern Theater invite you to indulge your senses and a delicious bag of popcorn and your favorite movie.
Anyway, we'll just
The
wrap
spacious
it up.
sunroom invite you and your guests to
So
take an afternoon of
sunrooms, you know,
conversation,
it's
lots
like
of
really
puzzle or
great
card games.
facility to give the kind of quality, you know, dignified,
For 72 spacious
caring.
apartments
And then
featuring
the rooms
private
are small, as you
used
can see.
kitchenettes and equally spacious restrooms. Whether you
You
like a
know,
studio
the
apartment
restrooms
or
have to be
one-bedroom
big.
apartment or a 2-bedroom apartment, there is a size and design to match your lifestyle. There are 22
And the
studio
memory
suites
care.
in memory care and features a private dining room. Our
So I'll just
entertainment
stop it
common
just to
areas-
show, and we'll just go back. I know it's 5:15 already, so we have about 15 minutes to feel some more. Again, we'll get deeper and deeper into underwriting, into looking at properties. And also, I think it'll be fantastic to find some good statistics. Dave, I know we talked about Florida is Mecca for seniors retiring. Arizona is, Washington, Oregon, brother, right there, Uncle. So it will be fantastic
Yeah.
that we design, we say, okay, let's go to these many states or these areas, and then we start honing in. And then when we meet on Wednesdays, we go deeper and deeper into to find out how to find off-market deals, how to find operators, what we need to look for. So I'll be guiding all the way through. Yeah. Please go ahead. What comes to your mind? Anybody. We had 10 people at the peak, I think. Please.
I think one thing is very interesting, Vinny. We'll have to also, one thing I've realized while looking at RALs is that there is a combination of in for each state, you have to look at how many rooms
Yes.
ratio to also the cost per bed. And the
Yeah.
interesting thing is in Washington, even though the room restriction is there, it's not as flexible as Phoenix. It's, I think, for RAL you can have, I think, 8 beds, up
Eight
to eight
beds,
beds.
okay. Yes.
Yeah, but each
Okay.
bed the average. I think there is a site which gives you average bed cost for state, and that is, I think, 6,500 for Washington, if I'm not wrong. $6,500 for Washington. And
Okay.
in comparison, like I think Phoenix, Arizona, I think is like 4,000 or 3,800 or 4,000. I don't know, somewhere around that. But
Oh,
Phoenix,
okay.
Arizona has a much greater bed count.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah,
See, like right there, you're right there in Seattle, right?
yep,
So
that's
I
it.
did find
RALNA.
this one, RAL National
Yep,
Association kind of puts it out. Seattle, how many are there? These are all residential assisted living, and it gives you all over the country. So I think maybe next time when we do it, we could dig deeper into it. Like I'm right here in the San Francisco area. I didn't even know we have so many residential assisted livings right here in the
Yep.
backyard. There will be some people retiring, some burnt out. I think there'll be huge opportunities for us to uncover some exciting deals together. I'm so fascinated. Look at this here. I mean, in San Jose, 218 of them. Where I live, right here in Danville, Black Hawk, there it is, right there, Black Hawk, I just saw right there. There are so many right in my backyard, 33 of them. I don't even know where they are. But guess what? We'll be able to look and see. There are 14 in here. I live right here. And then there is 13 in Alamo. Very uppy up rate. I bet they charge 10,000 or 12,000 a room. Have to be because property value is so high, right? So no, we'll dig deeper into it. You're so right. So maybe would you please do some research? That's an assignment to everybody to do in your state. What are the laws of residential assisted living? It will be very simple, to be truthful, but put together in a document so that you could share. There's so many beds. These are, how long does it take to get the license? Would you all do that? Huh? That'll be great. I think there might be even a whole website which shows each state how many beds or how many rooms, what's the square footage that we need to have, all that good stuff. So as we embark on this journey together, I think there is huge opportunity. There are huge opportunities, for us, because you could go with one RAL to second to third to fourth, 10,000 per month, 10,000. That's net profit. That's after giving the rental to the operator, to the owner of the house. So Dave, guess what, brother? If we even just operated and hired the right people, just the operation side can bring good money. Anyway, so we can dig deeper into those. Much more to come. Any more questions, please ask. I thought I'll share that because I had come across that website.
Hey, Vinney, what about marketing between the 17 months and 22 months that people generally stay? Is there a particular
very good point
marketing plan for that?
I'm so glad you said that. What I've come to realize in RALs, there are locating services. Wow. So they charge half of the month's rent, and these are locating services. They have leads going into rehab centers, doctors, hospitals. Guess what? So they bring, if they like your facility, you're doing a good job. I remember, oh my gosh, I got to tell you this. I was there with my operator, and she's a wonderful lady from Philippines. And I was just with her. She's over there having fun in Philippines for almost a month now. But she's got 4 centers in Arizona right now, Phoenix. And she's having to not work in the job, but outside the job. Look at that. And she's told me, Vinney, look at my text. She showed me 10 seniors to be placed. And then she had good connection with Michelle, which I also had dinner with her. And Monica also met Michelle. So there are placement agencies in every city, everywhere. And they will be the ones, they will place the seniors in your facility. But you do marketing. You have to have a good website. You have to have some flyers, Vista print flyers printed up and all, right? But the key thing is, Daryl, maybe if there are 10 people, maybe one may pass away in few months. So it's not constantly that you have to get people in, see? Right. Yeah, because average stay, people live longer also nowadays, and the average stay is 22 to 30 months, let's say, right there. But you got to have good name, brand, website. It's not that hard because you're only dealing with 10 residents, right? That's why I like 3 different ones, because one community director, operator can oversee 3, 2 to 3. So that way, their salary, their income will grow when you have 3 homes to manage, because you don't need one person per home. Because the caregiver is there. Sometimes caregiver also is a chef. Sometimes if it's a very luxurious facility, mansion, like we call it, then you may need a private chef to really make some culinary things for the seniors, and culinary, which will be, of course, 7,500 to 10,000 a month also, the rent that they will love to pay, because it's in a very rich area of the community. I would like to visit. I'm going to go visit some of these after I come back from my trip, in 2 weeks. I'll visit some of them right here in my backyard. And I want to see how good a facility it is or not. You could just shop them. You just go there. I was at that location near Reno, I remember. I just went there. I said, we're looking for my dad. You could just pretend, right? Because you want to know what's inside right there. Yeah. What else can we talk about? Anything else? I really appreciate everybody joining. Lee and Kat and Shora brother right there, and Steven right there. Of course, Mark is there. Mark, good to have you. Yeah, such a wonderful thing. There is Shora right there. Everybody's involved, and I'm so happy and proud that you come to this time every Wednesday, and then we record this session and it's uploaded into the Dropbox for everybody to watch, those who cannot join us and everything. Any last comments, Dave? Any last comments, brother? Oh, no, by the way, would you like to take day off next Wednesday? You want to do the week after, or what do you think? How is your schedule? I apologize.
Well, no, we'll do next week, no problem.
Okay.
And I think I'd like to go deeper on how to find these properties.
Yes.
I found a couple of, with the amount of income that you were talking about tonight, even Encore brought up $6,000 for one resident. With Encore, did you say it was 10 residents was the max?
Like in
8.
Washington, it's 8.
Washington,
and
it's
65,
8, I think.
And 65 and 8 also is like with an extension. I think if you go standard residential assisted living, it's 6. You go to 8. But Dave, the $6,500 per bed is not, you can just go and you get it tomorrow. I'm hearing like people, like I know friends who have to wait 1 year for putting their parents, like right now, 1 year.
Wow.
And
huge need, brother. Huge need. Huge need.
And that is the same that it's called essentially the King County area is right where the entire like tech hub is, and that's where most of the money is. And the reason I say that is that determines like the kind of facilities then there are built in that area, even if for RAL.
I want everybody to consider this over the next 6 days, 7 days.
Yes.
So the hardest properties to sell right now are properties in excess of $1 million, single family, by the way, because now if you find a single family home in a non-deed restricted community, this is important, that's in that price range, $1 million to $2 million, maybe $1 million to $3 million. So you now have the space. You might have 5, 6 bedrooms. So you've now found the asset that can meet this need. You have the income enough so that you could pay for that asset. And you also have a seller that has an asset they can't sell. So you can probably buy at a substantial discount. And I think the timing
option to buy, brother, right?
Yeah.
Option to purchase.
Yeah. Non-deed restricted, that's important because
yes, that's important. Yes. And HOAs, don't go for very big HOAs either. That's the other problem. If you're looking for a home in a gated community, there might be restrictions also about how many people. Also, you have to see the jurisdiction. I think it's called R4 to R10, residential 4 to 10. I think I've seen those. So you got to do some research on that. But no, we'll dig deeper and deeper into it. Again, thank you so much. And today we are 44 year anniversary today, actually. So my wife and I will be going out for dinner. I didn't want to miss it because I'll be gone. Next week we'll be celebrating in Italy our anniversary also with the kids. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Congratulations.
And God bless you. And thank you so much. Thank you. God bless. We'll talk again. Huh? Sure. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you. Please join next week. Yeah, Wednesday.
That's all for this episode of The Investor Impact. Stay tuned for the next episode and don't miss out on the opportunity to learn and grow alongside this powerful inner circle.